Hello everyone, welcome to the session on algorithmic laboratory. In this session, we'll be discussing a Kruskal algorithm. Basically, this Kruskal algorithm is meant for determining a minimum cost spanning tree in a given undirected graph. Straight away, I'll go to the code of this to show you and explain you how this particular algorithm will going to determine a minimum cost spanning tree. So as I already mentioned that Kruskal algorithm is meant for determining a minimum cost spanning tree for a given undirected graph. That means the input for this particular algorithm is a undirected graph. So even you can see in your main part, so as we all know that the execution will going to start from this main function. I'm supposed to provide a input that is an undirected graph. So here, initially I would like to input the number of vertices, that is the n value. And later on, I'm supposed to input the adjacency matrix, that is cost adjacency matrix. If there is a directed edge, I'll consider that edge cost directly. If not, a infinity value should have to be considered. So infinity in this particular algorithm or in this particular program, we have considered it as 999. Okay. So before going in detailed discussion with your Kruskal algorithmic part, so let me consider your input here. So the same Kruskal algorithm is here because I just wanted to explain this Kruskal algorithm with a sample input here. So for that purpose, I just copied the same code into your presentation slide. So here, let me consider your input graph. So I'm considering n is equal to 5. That means I'm supposed to have 5 vertices, right? And there is a connectivity, something like this over here. Is something like this. Let me label these vertices. This is 1, 2, 5. This is 4, and this is 3. And as I already mentioned that each and every edge should be associated with some cost. 1 to 2, the edge cost is 3. 1 to 3 is 2. 2 to 3 it's 1. 3 to 4 it's 4. 4 to 5 it's 5. And 2 to 5 is 2. And I'm supposed to consider the input here. So input, I mean to say that the representation of this graph, I'm supposed to do it in the form of a adjacency matrix. Okay. So in short, I'll write it for here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. If there is a directed edge, that cost, edge cost I'll consider. If not, I'm going to consider the infinity value. 3, 4, and 5. For this graph, I'm updating your adjacency matrix cost. 1 to 1 for self it's infinity. 1 to 2 is 3. 1 to 3 it's 2. 1 to 4 it's infinity. 1 to 5 is also infinity. Same way with respect to your second row, and just keep on updating the values. You can cross check these values in your graph here, right? It's not a new concept, it's the same old concept which we had discussed earlier for representing your graph in the form of your adjacency matrix. Okay. Third row, 2, 1, infinity, 4, and then infinity. And this is infinity, 6, 4, infinity, 5, infinity, 2, infinity, 5, infinity. Okay. So this is your adjacency matrix. So once you input your adjacency matrix, so straight away we are calling your Kruskal algorithm. Some declaration we have done it over here, some variables, NE here in this case, the number of edges. Basically, when we get a spanning tree, so in that spanning tree, the number of edges will going to be always n minus 1. So where n is nothing but the number of vertices. So in this particular example, the number of vertices are 5. And obviously in your spanning tree, the edges will going to be n minus 1, that is 4 here. And for those 4 edges, the cost will going to be identified. Okay, and also we need to identify which of the edges are. So here in this case, I'm supposed to consider a single dimensional array called as parent. So where this parent is initialized to the value 0 initially. Why? Because so the condition for your spanning tree is there should not be any cycle formation and all the vertices should have to be visited once. To check for that cycle formation, so we are using this parental condition. This is parental one-dimensional array. So in short, I'm writing it as P, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all these values will going to be initialized with the value 0. Okay. Next, NE, the number of edges. So as I already told, the number of edges will going to be always n minus 1 in your spanning tree. So when it becomes n minus 1, we need to stop this iteration. We need to come out. That's it. We need not to proceed further. So NE initially it is 0. Okay, 0 not equal to 5 minus 1, 4. Yes, we enter minimum. So in my part, I consider minimum value as 999, or in general, I can consider it as infinity, right? Minimum is equal to 999. So why this part is, so in this adjacency matrix, my task is to determine a field which is a minimum cost. So there are 5 into 5, 25 fields. Among these 25 fields, I am supposed to determine the field whose cost is minimum. So for that purpose, initially I initialize this minimum to a larger value, that is infinity, and I am traversing through your adjacency matrix. This is across your row and this is across your column. And T of ij, each and every field will be checked with your minimum value, that is 999, right? And whenever I get a minimum value, so that will be initialized to min. So 999 will be compared with this. It's not greater or lesser. Next, 999 will be compared with this 3, and this is the minimum one. So minimum will be initialized to this, and then this will be minimum up this point of time. When I go to the next field, I think the minimum will be this, right? And so on. We need to traverse through all the fields of your adjacency matrix, and finally at the end of this traversal, so minimum, if you just look into this, I think the minimum values are at 2 locations. One is at this point and another one is at this point. So I think here in this case, I'm going to get the minimum value as 2, 3 in the field, right? In 2, 3, I'm going to get a minimum 1. So that means minimum value will be 1, and you or A, this will be 2 and B will be 3, right? So here itself I get, so I don't think that this value will be considered now, right? So U is equal to 2, V is equal to 3, even A is equal to 2, B is also equivalent to 3. Okay, and minimum will going to be 1. Basically, in a Kruskal algorithm, what happens is, in a simple way, if I want to say, all your edges will be ordered in an ascending order. I'll be keep on picking up the edges, which is minimum, right? So I'm picking up this edge, this is the minimum edge, 2, 3, right? So straight away I cannot consider it because I need to check for a cycle formation. If there is a cycle formation, I should not consider this edge 2, 3. To check whether there is a occurrence of a cycle formation, so we have this particular condition. Parent of U, what is U? 2. Parent of 2 not equal to 0. Yes, it's equal to 0. It doesn't enter to this. Next V. V is equal to 3. Parent of V not equal to 0. Yes, the condition becomes false. It doesn't enter into this while comes out. What is U and V? U is 2, V is 3. So that means I can consider that edge. AB, a copy of that I'm putting it here. See, U and V, a replica, I'm keeping it in another variable, A and B. Okay. So consider the edge AB. That is 2, 3. I am writing it in a purple line. This is one of the edge of your spanning tree, and its minimum cost should have to be printed. Okay, and next, so now these 2, 3 becomes one set, correct? And parent of 3 will going to be 2. That means for higher index value, lower index vertex or lower vertex will going to be the parent. So for parent of 3, V is 3, U will be the parent. That means parent of 3. This will going to be 2. I'll write it next. And number of edges will be incremented by 1. Now it becomes 1. And that cost, minimum, I got it as 1. So initially minimum cost is 0. 0 plus 1, this also will be equivalent to 1. When I got the first edge, even that edge cost should have to be updated to your minimum cost. Again, and next, and this AB, because this value will change actually. In this iteration, it has not changed, but in the subsequent iteration, this U and V will be changed. That's why I'm having a copy in a separate variable. Okay. So here in this case, this AB and BA, because it's an undirected graph, AB and BA value will going to be same. See this. A is 2, B is 3, 2, 3, and 3, 2. These two should have to be now the infinity, because in the next iteration I should not consider again this vertex, sorry, this edge. I'm supposed to consider next edge. For that purpose, I'm marking this as infinity. Again, go back to this condition. Number of edges, NE, now it is 1, not equal to n minus 1. Yes, it's true. Minimum 999. Again, from this adjacency matrix, so previous 1 has become an infinity now. Now I'm supposed to find the next minimum edge here. I think the next minimum edge will going to be 2. I think here. I think at 2 location, we'll find it. That is 1, 3. Oh, sorry. Oh, 2 edges we have. 1, 3, 2, 5, 5, 2, and then 3, 1. We'll get with the first occurrence, 1, 3. Okay. U is equal to 1, V is equal to 3, 1, 3. Even A and B will also be 1, 3. And minimum value will going to be 2 now. Okay. So I'll get that minimum value from this particular path. Okay. Next, parent of u. What is u? 1. Parent of 1, it's 0. It's isolated actually. It's a disjoint one. I think if you look my theoretical materials, I think you'll be much more clear. Parent of 1 not equal to 0. It's 0. The condition false comes out. Parent of v. Parent of 3. Who is the parent of 3 now? Parent of 3 is 2. You can see over there. Condition old school. Parent of v not equal to 0. Get in. V is equal to parent of v. Parent of v in the sense is nothing but 2. So v value is changed to 2 now. Okay. Again, parent of 2. Now v value has been changed. Parent of 2 not equal to 0. It's 0 comes out. See that u and v value. If u and v value both are same, it means that there is a cycle formation. Here in this case, u is 1, v is 2. Right? There is no cycle formation. I can consider that as 1 to 3, not 1 to 2 actually. Okay. So you need to see this AB value. See this AB value you should see. That is 1, 3. Consider this H. And parent of V for 2, here. Parent of 2, 1 is the parent value. And this value will be changed to 1. And number of edges will be incremented by 1 is 2. So minimum cost, earlier it was 1 plus 2 now, it becomes 3. And next, C of AB, that is 1, 3. So this will also be infinity. And this one, 1, 3, 3, 1. This will also be infinity. Again, repeat that loop. NE, it's 2. Number of edges, 2. So I'm supposed to get 2 more actually. Enter into this loop. Again, among the available values of your adjacency matrix, identify the edge cost, which is minimum. So there is one more 2 here. That is 2 to 5 and 5 to 2. Okay. Yeah. U is equal to 2, V is equal to 5, minimum value is equal to 2. Even both these A and B is also the same of U and B. Parent of 2, it's 1. Not equal to 0, yes, true, get in. U is equal to parent of U. For 2, parent of U is 1. U will be now parent of 2, that is 1 here. Again, go back. Parent of 1 not equal to 0. U is 1 now. Parent of 1 not equal to 0. It's 0 comes out. Parent of V, V is 5. 5 not equal to 0. Yes, it is. It's not equal to 0. The condition doesn't hold good. Comes out. See these values U and V. They are disjoint 1 and 5. Right? Consider the edge AB. That is 2 to 5. I can have this edge 2 to 5. And the minimum value 2. I got it. And parent of V. That is parent of 5. V. 5 is equal to 1. Parent of 5 will going to be 1 here. And number of edges will be increased by 1. It is 3. And add that edge cost to this minimum cost. That is 2. Summation will going to be 5. And this, again, this value will be infinity. This value will be infinity. This value will be infinity. Again, repeat. Number of edges is not equal to n minus 1. Number of edges is 3. N minus 1 is 4. It doesn't hold good. Yes, enter into your while loop. Again, from the available fields of your adjacency matrix, find the field whose cost is minimum. I think it is 3. This one. Correct? u is equal to 1, v is equal to 3, and AB will also the same. Minimum will going to be 3. I'm supposed to check that if I consider this AB edge, whether there is a cycle formation. Just on a visualization, if you look, suppose if I draw an edge over here, that is between 1 to, oh, sorry, this is 1 to 2. 1 to 2, Baba. 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Okay. This is 1 to 2. One to 2. Suppose if I draw an edge from 1 to 2, obviously there is a cycle formation. So as per the constraint of your spanning tree, so in your spanning tree there should not be any cycle formation. So definitely we'll see whether there will be a parent formation, a cycle formation or not, with the support of this parent. Parent of u is 1. 1 parent is 0. Correct? Next, it comes out of this loop. 0 not equal to 0, false comes out. Parent of v, what is v? 2. Parent of 2 is 1. 1 not equal to 0. And this 1 will be assigned to your v. So now this v will going to be 1. Again, be in a loop. Parent of 1. Parent of 1 will going to be 0. 0 not equal to 0 comes out. Now see this u and v value. U is also 1, v is also 1. Right? Suppose if there is a cycle formation, both this u and v value will be same. You can see this observation. This is also 1. This is also 1 here. Right? So I should not enter into this if condition. It means that I should not consider this edge at all. If I consider this edge, so I'm going to get with a cycle. Okay? So just make that corresponding fields to infinity. That is from 1 to 2. Even 1 to 2, this will be infinity, and this will be infinity. No need of considering this edge. No updation in your number of edges, and no updation with respect to the parent, and no updation with respect to your minimum cost. NE still remains 3. 3 not equal to 4. Yes. Again, from the availability, pick the one which is minimum actually. Right? I think we're going to get with 3, 4. Correct? So we'll get with the value 3, 4. This is the one. 4, 3, 3, 4. U is equal to 3. V is equal to 4. Even this will be 3. This will be 4. And its value, minimum value will be 4. Okay? Parent of 3. Parent of 3 is 2. Not equal to 0. This 2 will going to be assigned to your u. Parent of 2, it's 1. Not equal to 0. So it should keep on changing here. U will be parent of 3, that is 2. And parent of 2 is 1. Parent of 1 not equal to 0 comes out. Next, with respect to v, parent of 4 not equal to 0, yes, doesn't hold good, comes out. U is 1, v is 4, not equal. Consider the edge AB. AB in the sense is 3, 4. So because these values will be keep on changing, that's why I'm keeping a replica of this. So that's why this U and A is same, V and B are same over here. Okay, consider the edge AB. AB in the sense is nothing but 3 to 4. Okay, see this. If I consider this edge, there's no cycle formation, and parent of V, that is parent of 4 is equal to U, that is 1, and this value will be 1. Number of edges will be incremented by 1 and plus the minimum value. Minimum value is 4. Okay, plus 4. And this will be infinity. This value will be infinity and this value will be infinity. Again, go. 4 not equal to n minus 1. The condition doesn't hold, so comes out because we got with 4 edges. And print your minimum cost value. minimum cost value will be 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. So the minimum cost will going to be 8. Okay. So here in this case, in a simple way, if I want to say, your edges will going to be organized in an ascending order of its cost. I'll be keep on considering edges one by one, and I will be checking whether there will be a cycle formation or not. If there is a cycle formation, I do not consider that edge. If not, I'll consider it. I'll keep on repeating until I get with the n minus 1 edge. So this is how I'll be implementing your Kruskal algorithm. So I can show you the execution of this program. Let me go back to your Turbo C. You can see over here, there's a program. I'll run this, the same program. Okay. So Kruskal has been declared here as a function prototype. Even some variables are declared globally here. And from the main, I'm calling your Kruskal functions, and whatever the logic I explained, the same thing is been here. I'll run this. Okay. I'll provide the same input which I consider for tracing. Number of vertices is 5, and I have the values here: 999, 3, 2, infinity. I'm considering 999 as a infinity here. 3, infinity, 1, 6, 2, 2, 1, infinity, 4, infinity, infinity, 6, 4, infinity, 5, infinity, 2, infinity, 5, infinity. Okay. So I had the edges 2 to 3. That's the minimum one. Next 1 to 3. It's 2. And 2 to 5. It's 2. I did not consider the edge 1 to 2. Even it is minimum, because if I consider that edge, there would have been a cycle formation. So I straight away go to the next stage, that is 3 to 4. So the minimum cost is 9 here. 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. Okay. So this is about your Kruskal algorithm. Any of you people have to trace with a few more sample inputs of this undirected graph, and then only will be much more clear about this concept. Okay. So with this, I'll just conclude this particular algorithm. Thanks.